What's going on, everybody up in YouTube? This is your boy Lee Majors. So I want to get into something right now where what we talk about controlling debt. All right, so everybody always talk about how can you make your money, but nobody never talks about how you actually can get yourself out of a situation when you owe money and the bills are coming from different angles. So this one is going to be on financial damage control. All right. And you could use the principles of the snowball effect with financial damage control. So last time I spoke on, what I'm saying, just the interest. And what's making a lot of people get caught up is because they don't understand that their bills have certain interest payments on them. You know what I'm saying? So we got to look at that. We got to look at how much interest, for one, when you want to control debt, because that's what it's about. It's about controlling it. All right. We have to look at what interest is going out of the house. So between your credit cards, between you overdrafting in the banks, between you buying shit that you don't need, between you having to look at what you're doing as far as cutting back on certain things every month. So you got a whole 31 days. I will say, to the point of being able to do inventory for your house, to control the debt or to get it under control, you have to find out where all the money is leaking and how much everything costs. Now, when you properly go through everything, you can assess certain bills and you can adjust and move around certain bills. But this is the actual, how can I say, administrative work that you have to do just for your household. This is the actual administrative work that you have to do. So pay attention to your student loans, which you always going to have to pay. Pay attention to your credit cards. If you're using that, which you always going to have to pay. Pay attention to any other like Sam Clubs cards or whatever cards that you got, or gas cards, or what you're going to have to pay. All right. Now, if you're paying something off, the best thing to do is to make sure that you have an understanding of how much income is coming into your house. You definitely have to understand how much that you are spending and how much money is going out of the house. It's not about how much you're saving. How can you manage your system that you built for yourself? When you want to pay a credit card off, you just don't pay the bare minimum. You can start off paying the bare minimum. That's if you're paying on something else. So that way that you can consistently still be on time with your payments. You know what I'm saying? And you show that consistency as far as your financial data history with that particular credit card company or bank that you with. When you start to pay other things off, you make room for yourself. And then you can aggressively start paying more on that particular bill that you want to pay off. So if you got a credit card and, the interest is 19% a year, pay them 25. So that way that you be able to stay ahead. It's all about how much interest you got going out of the house. When you consolidating everything, right, and shit is overwhelming, then that's when you cut everything and you stop everything. You call these institutions up and you stop them and you start rolling shit over into one consolidated payment. You could do that yourself. You don't need no other companies helping you or telling you how to really actually get yourself out of debt. You know how much you work. Now, if you can consolidate the bills together and then pay a premium payment of $500, then you could actually throw that $500 a month onto the bills that you actually owe. You understand what I'm saying? Just like how you would pay for a car payment. We have to control the debt by understanding how to control the interest that we being charged for, if that makes any sense. And the way that you control that is that you pay more interest so that way that you can pay it down faster. We call that aggressive paying or aggressive payment. When you pay something aggressively, that means however much you owe, you pay double that. So that way that you could actually pay that shit down faster. You understand what I'm saying? And you could be done with it. When you want to buy or purchase something, or you got something on layaway, you do the pre-math within calculating a certain percentage. That means you're going to have to cut back on something. You have to think of different ways of being able to actually save a dollar. And this is why it's good to do inventory. When you do the inventory and you have everything lined up, you'll notice that you'll save an extra $500. Keep your work rate the same. Your work rate is always going to be the same. Your monthly income is always going to be the same, or you try to maintain that monthly income number. But you have to do cutbacks, and you have to watch how money leaks out of the house. So this is what I'm saying. We have certain habits that we have to watch out for. You know, and going out to eat is a lot of them. You could really eat in the house for the whole month. Still keep your work rate the same. Work out. Have a planned schedule. Look at the smallest bill and pay the smallest bill up to the largest bill. All right. Get your phone out of the way. Get all the other stuff out of the way. But you want to keep on dropping those small payments and increase the payments of what you're paying out as frequently as possible. So you want to hit that aggressive. So if you got your credit card bill, whatever the minimum payment is, double up and triple up on it. And then don't use the card for about a month or two. That's how you handle that. The credit card is only supposed to be used for purchases that are needed to operate. Whether your business, if your house is your business or whatever, that's how you're supposed to do it. You don't supposed to just swipe a bag of Dorito chips with that shit. You don't supposed to do that. All right. So we have to control how much we are spending versus how much we are keeping. And then we have to look at how much interest is leaving out of the house. All right. So you put all those bills together and then you come up with a solid number where that number could be fragmented into all those bills. And then with that constant payment, you could break that shit down over time. You want to pay out more interest. That's how you beat interest. All right. If the bill is $92, put $100. Give them $192. You know what I'm saying? If that's the base payment, give them $192. You always want to give more because, see, when you do that, you get credits. All right. If your electric bill was $300, send them an extra $200 or extra $50. You always want to receive the credit. I will say this. These people know that the month-to-month shit will get people in debt. When you start paying your stuff up for months at a time, you don't move by the actual, how can I say, structure of the matrix. You become unorthodox. It can't hold you down because you willing, you know what I'm saying, to keep shit moving and to pay shit up and to pay back into the system. For those who don't like to pay into the system or that's cheap with themselves, especially with their bills, they the ones that get caught up because they financially target their priorities into another place instead of putting it on the basic necessities, which is attached to this thing that we got called the economy. All right. You have to live. You have to eat. You have to have clothes on your back. You got to pay your car insurance. You got to pay repairs for your car or repairs for your car. You should already have accounts that's set up and putting money aside already. When you get paid, when you fragment your paycheck, when you chop your paycheck up, you're supposed to already put money away for all those accounts. So that way that those accounts can handle whatever problem. Because the money will build in those accounts over time. It comes down to you financially organizing your dollars. That's how you mitigate the risk. Watch what's coming in and watch what's going out. And if you got too much money going out into one spot, you have to slow that part of the activity down. So you have to create a financial chart for yourself. You can't be mentally lazy. You know what I'm saying? If you cannot manage $100, how you gonna manage $100,000? So we had 11 minutes. But this is how you manage the debt. So this is how we take control of it. This is how we take control of the debt. All right? Look at all of what's coming in. Look at all of what's going out. Cut back in certain divisions of your habits or whatever it is that you're doing as far as activity-wise throughout the course of the month. And I guarantee you that the money will be there. It's always about how much you keep. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to run your house like a Fortune 500 company. All right? And this is how you handle debt. This is how you handle debt. So if you're already in the hole already, then you yourself have to start small and then start paying these bills over time in an aggressive manner. And what I mean by aggressive, when you every chance that you get, you make sure that you drop extra money on what you owe. So that way that they can catch up. All right? Stop all other activities and aggressively pay on that. And you'll see your debt go down. Because you are readjusting activity and you are putting more focus on chopping that down. If you don't believe me, try it. Trust me, I don't care how much money you make. When you want to pay something off, you'll pay it off. You have to rice and beans that shit. That's just how the way that you get out of debt. To get out of debt and to handle debt is to deal with it head on. All right? Ain't no other way. And that's how you deal with the debt. All right? Especially in a government lockdown. My name is Lee Majors. Peace.